Boom, 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 boom. Boom, 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 boom. Boom, boom, boo-doo-doo-doo.
In the still of the night, I held you tight, 'cause I love you so. Promise I'll never let you go. In the still of the night,
In the still of the night,
I remember that night in May. The stars were bright above. And I pray to keep your precious love before the night. Hold me, darling, hold me tight, 'cause I love you so. Promise I'll never let you go. In the still of the night,
in the still of the night,
I remember that night in May. The stars were bright above. And I pray to keep your precious love so before the night. Hold me, darling, hold me tight, 'cause I love you so. Promise I'll never let you go. In the still of the night,
in the still of the night,
in the still of the
boom, 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 boom,
night.
boom, 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 in the still of the night.
Oh, what a night to love you, dear. Oh, what a night to hold you near. Whoa, what a night to squeeze you, dear. That's why I love you so. What a night to love you, dear. Oh, what a night to hold you near. Whoa, what a night to squeeze you, dear.
That's why I love you so.
Whoa.
I won't forget all those things you have done to me. Faith in my heart won't let me forget your love. Oh, what a night to love you, dear. Oh, what a night to hold you near. Oh, what a night to squeeze you, dear. That's why I love you so.
You know, I won't forget that beautiful evening that we spent together. It was just you and me and you. It was a full moon. We were sitting on the bench in the park. You looked at me and you said, I love you. I looked at you and I said, I love you too, baby. And that was the start of a beautiful relationship. That's why I say, oh, what a night to love you, dear. Oh, what a night to hold you near. Whoa, what a night to squeeze you, dear. That's why I love you so. Absolutely. Yeah.
What you want?
So, come on in.
Come on in, Terry.
Come on in. Fall in line, my dear. So you had worked in music docs before, but usually more like concert films. Talk about making the transition over to doing more of a history of doo-wop.
Yeah, very much so. I grew up in the 70s. I was that Brian McKnight crowd. I grew up on Sha Na Na and American Graffiti, and I was that kid that loved Happy Days. And fortunately, I grew up in a time when there was no Disney radio and those kinds of things. So if you wanted to hear music, you heard your parents' music.
Yep.
And so I heard this great music, and I knew at a very early age, hey, that's better than what I'm hearing on the radio. so I grew up loving this music. And so when Tim Hedden, our producer, who was a fan of the music and had a passion for this, said that, I think there's a story here. And I loved the music. And when we started to do our research, and I realized what these incredible artists had done, and we started to realize the path that they had taken, and the groundwork that they had laid, and then the legacy they left behind. And we knew that this was a story that we wanted to tell.
Right, for telling,
Yeah.
indeed. Now you have a who's who of doo-wop in this film. Please share with us about how you were able to compile such an illustrious group of subjects.
Well, it was Teresa Steele, who is out producing. Where's the boss lady? She was, gosh, I wish she was here. Because it was Teresa who really began all of this. Our first phone call was to Charlie Horner, historian, and then he put us in touch with Sammy Strain. Sammy was our first interview, and I'm pretty sure after 4 or 5 hours in the chair, and then 3 or 4 hours at dinner, he was like, I hope this guy's not my neighbor.
He's not lying. The interview was supposed to be about 25 or 30 minutes. We did about 3 hours.
I couldn't stop asking questions.
It's the mark of a true fan.
Absolutely. Sammy was just fantastic. And we knew at that point we were off to a fantastic start.
Indeed. I'm going to just open it up. I'm sure you guys have a load of questions. We only have a few minutes with everyone that's here, so please raise your hands, and we will select you out to come and talk to everyone.
Yeah. Could I say something?
Yeah. While we wait on the first.
Give the group that a hell of a hand. It's beautiful, man.
Yeah. Quiet Storm, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, Quiet Storm.
Dynamite.
You did a beautiful job. You're not no young dude, you're older than me. Yeah. And don't y'all let the rock and roll die because it's my job. You know, I got to protect my job, you know, so keep on buying Drifter's music, you know. Right, y'all keep on singing, you know what I mean? Yeah. Well, I ain't
Do I
got no
see a
more to say
hand,
because
anybody?
I
Yes,
get
all
out
the
on
way
the
in the
corner
back.
called Small Change, don't nobody won't give me nothing.
Well,
So please
do we
don't
have a
let the rock
question
and roll
and
die.
perhaps any small change or just a
Thank you,
question?
Vita.
I had the pleasure of going to Asbury Park a few weeks ago to see Charlie and the Drifters. But the disappointment of that concert, that was the Ronnie Strecker show, was that I saw another version of the Crystals that didn't have Lala. And so I wanted to ask people of any of the original groups, how do you feel when these other groups go out and these managers come with these people, the fake Crystals or the fake Drifters or the fake this, and how do you guys feel about that with these other
Where's he at?
To members of the original groups, how do you
Must be a
feel
colored
when
guy, I
there
can't
are
see him.
when there are groups
Oh,
of
oh.
fake
sweet.
members?
That's sweet. But I have to tell the truth. I have to tell the story about why, you know, they're not, I mean, they are, if you want to call them fake, that's, you know, because Dee Dee Kennebrew is original. She backed up me when I was 13 and 14 in a group. But what happened was when I went to Europe like in 1984, and I stayed in Vienna for maybe 8 years, and then I lived in England for 6 years. When I came back in 1997, and you know I'm a truthful girl, I tell the truth. When I came back in 1997, I started calling agents, and the agent said, "Oh, Lala, you're back, you know, the Do Run Run girl, the Then Kiss Me girl." And I said, "Yeah, I'm back, you know." And I tried to get work, and Dee Dee Kennebrew had copywritten the name. She copywrote the name. And so when she copywrote the name, I had so many contracts in the mail, and the man called me and he said to me, "Lala, you can work here, you can work there." And then the next week he called and he said, "No, because Dee Dee is saying that if you work and use the name, she'll sue you." And she said she would call the radio stations, she would call the television, she would call anybody, so I couldn't use the name. So Dee Dee is in it, but the other two girls that sing with her, they aren't there. So you know what I did? Naturally, I prayed, and because I am the original. And mind you, that people don't know that when I put down to Do Run Run and Then He Kissed Me, the Crystals are not on anything I've done. They're not on Santa Claus Is Coming to Town, the Christmas album. They're not on background of Then He Kissed Me and the Do Run Run, because Phil flew me out to New York, from New York to California, and I put down those tracks. So I was upset at first, and I said, "Dee Dee, listen, I paid everything for you with the biggest songs, the Do Run Run and Then He Kissed Me. Everybody could work," but she didn't want that. So what I did was I prayed on it, and then I started working the cutting room 8 times in New York. I worked the cutting room, and I took my name out of it, and I kept saying, "Lala Brooks, former original lead singer of the Crystals, Lala Brooks," and that's how Lala Brooks came out from the Crystals, because it's very difficult to do that, because I'm not Martha Reeves and the Vandellas. I'm not Diana Ross and the Supremes, where the name is out front. So I worked hard to get my name out there in order for me to work. But it's so crazy because you don't realize that Phil gave the name to all of us in a settlement. He gave the Crystal name to everybody. But we didn't do our research. And when I came back, I didn't know. And to fight her in court would have cost me a fortune after 30 years. So when she called me on the phone and she was irate, and I said, "Dee Dee, I paid for your house from the Do Run Run. I paid for your college for your daughter. I paid for everything," because when she got belligerent, I sort of got stupid too. But that's why I'm not there. But by the grace of God and by all the fans and you guys, I am grateful that I was able to come out and be able to work and do the songs that I sang lead on. So I thank you guys, not myself. Thank you.
You deserved it. You were there. I know what it's like. I know what it's like.
Time for one more question. Yes,
Somebody.
in the back with the hat. Sorry.
Oh, the mellows. The mellows, yeah.
No. My name is Barbara Jean English,
Hey, crickets.
not Lillian Leach. I don't know why, how you got that, but my name is Barbara Jean English, and I was fortunate enough for Brenton, Teresa, and Charlie Horner, and Pam to introduce me to this wonderful project. Brent, I just want to thank you so much. It is magnificent. It is
It's great, it's great.
magnificent. Magnificent. Thank you so much. And I'm so happy. I'm so happy to get the opportunity to stand here and to thank all of you, fans or historians or just lovers of that, you know, unsung hero like myself. I mean, I'm nobody, but except what you made me, that you remembered my music. And I thank Brett. God bless you. I wish you so much more. And Sammy, listen, I love all of you. I don't know half of you, Lois, but this is a wonderful thing that he's done. Yes, and I hope we make some money out of this. Thank you so much.
Pleasure to bring this story
Sure,
out.
you're right. God bless
All right,
you.
very quickly, since that wasn't a question. Yes, gentleman right here.
Oh,
Wally.
wow. Oh, yeah,
Wally Roker.
yeah.
Wally Roker.
Wally Roker is the reason that I'm here tonight. I wanted to be a bass singer because I heard Wally with the Heartbeats.
All right.
Yeah.
I was a major Heartbeat fan.
Yes.
The first group I had, 1956, was a group called the Crescents. I was the bass singer. We worked with Hal Jackson. We went on a little mini tour. I thought it was in Australia. However, it was only in Danbury, Connecticut. But I was only 15 years old. Wally was the reason I'm here. God bless him.
God bless you. Yes.
In Hong Kong.
We also we lost Diz Russell. You saw
Diz
Diz in the
Russell's-
film.
he's gone.
Diz has still passed since the filming, and yeah, we were honored to have him when we had him, and that was his last performance that we captured, and it was just a thrill, just an absolute thrill to have Diz as well.
Well, it's been a thrill to have you all with us tonight. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Brent, for this beautiful work. Thank you, everyone, for
Thank
joining
you guys.
us tonight.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, thank you.